everyone, and welcome back to Art a la Carte. And in this video is going to be a painting I did in extreme time lapse because it actually took me several hours to do this, so I zipped it up a little bit faster so you can see the creation process. But during this piece I want to talk to you guys about the fun you can have using mixed media. So a media is the type of art tool that you use, whether you use watercolor or color pencils or markers or crayons or acrylic or oils, any of those kind of things. Those are each a medium. And a lot of times we get stuck in the rut thinking that we only use one of those. If I'm going to do a piece of art, am I going to do it in watercolor or color pencil, or I'm going to do it with marker? And we sometimes forget how much fun it is to mix them up. And this piece really kind of highlights this. I think I used every form of art medium that I personally use in this one piece, except for acrylic paint, but I use gouache, which is pretty close to that. So I'm going to go through each of the different mediums that I use as I progress through this painting. But first, let me tell you a little bit about inspiration for this piece. There was two things that kind of inspired this piece. The first is I wanted to create a style piece that was not my normal style. So a lot of times if I'm doing a face or something like that, a lot of times I'll outline it and then color it in, or at least the proportions will be a little bit different. So this one I have a very short head and then very large eyes, and the eyes themselves are stylized. They're more of the almond shape, which I don't do a lot of almond shape eyes. So I really wanted to kind of push myself to kind of create a look to a piece that was different than what I normally did. And I think I did achieve that in as best as an artist can. I think art always is going to reflect the artist itself, and that's the way it should be because it's a reflection of who we are. The second inspiration for this piece was a character from the book and movie, The Never-Ending Story. I've always loved the childlike empress, so I was inspired to create a character based on her. I took a lot of inspiration of the emotions and feels I have for that character and put it into this piece as well. So those were the two inspirations. Now, if you want more information about how do you find your style, let alone change it up, but how do you find out when you have a style? I do have a video and I really encourage you to watch it. It's a collaboration video I did, and I'll put a link to that in the description box below or up here in one of the cards. You can check that out. So now getting on to the mediums that I used for this piece. Obviously the first one I used is watercolor, which was actually what I originally intended to use with this piece only. I was going to just do watercolor, but then as I began to play around with these colors and the kind of the drip effect, I really wanted to pull out some more drips. So I switched over to gouache as well, because gouache is really opaque, where watercolor is very transparent, so it kind of, you see the colors beneath it. So as I began to drip the gouache, you get those really vibrant colors over top of each other. After I finished with the gouache, then I went into some black Indian ink, which gives you a nice dark ink color. And if you've never played around with Indian ink, it's not really super expensive. You can get a nice size bottle for a couple of dollars, and it's just really fun to play with. A little bit later on, though, I'll talk a little bit more about the problems with Indian ink, as opposed it's pretty messy. The next medium that I chose to use was color pencils, because even though the gouache is really nice and opaque, I don't have a wide selection of colors for gouache. I just have like a beginning set of just kind of the basic colors. So I decided to go over with some color pencils and really like that because it really kind of it changed the texture of the picture as well, and the lighter colors on some of the dark parts of the painting really pop. So as I began to outline this in a white color pencil, the drips really began to glow with that white color pencil. After that, I went and got my gel pen, which the gel pen that I use is the Signa brand gel pen. And all of the tools, if I have them, if I can find them, I'll put links to where you can buy them or find out more information about them in the description box, so you can definitely do that. I also use some silver gel inks, and again going back over with my gel pen. I kind of wanted to create this kind of chaotic looking world for this Empress character, and I love at the end of the Never-Ending Story. The end of the Never-Ending Story, is that like, anyway, her world is totally being destroyed and she has no way to save her world. And it's just being torn apart. And I kind of wanted to have that chaotic look. So I decided to dabble black Indian ink and just sprinkle it all over the place. So I laid these maskings over top And then I began to apply the ink, and this is where the ink got really messy and dyed my fingers. So I had to put some towels down to kind of collect that, because Indian ink stains like nobody's business. So make sure it doesn't get on any of your clothes. Just sprinkled it. I kind of put some on a paintbrush and whacked it on a paintbrush, and just went everywhere. So after I finished that, I went and took a blow dryer and blow dried everything dry really well because I didn't want to smudge any of the ink, and then went ahead and removed the tape and to reveal the picture, which I think is the funnest part, especially if you do a masking of some sort. To take the tape off and to see your finished product is just super fun. This is actually the first time I think I have used this kind of masking, where I just kind of rip some paper, and I love it because it kind of gave that uneven edge to everything. So it kept areas clean, but it didn't look super precise. And you would think the picture would be done, but no, this was the never-ending painting. That's why I said this picture took forever, because then I went back over with a gel pen and added little sparkles of light in there. Like, I didn't think this painting was busy enough. I am going to be putting the original up for sale on my Etsy shop. As soon as I get back from VidCon, I will probably be putting this piece up for sale. But for now, I get to enjoy it in my studio. I love it so much. And I hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed creating this piece. So if you're brand new to this channel, hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any future videos. Have fun creating with tons of art mediums. And as always, God bless you guys, and we'll see you later. Bye!
Pencil and some paper, and the best part is having lots of fun with art a la carte.